Welcome back to my keto kitchen, Keto Naturopath Kitchen. Today I'm making an Italian pistachio cream, and I'm making mine dairy free. There's so many uses for this, and I love pistachio. And what I didn't realize was pistachios are actually grow in Sicily, and I knew almonds did because when I visited when I was 14, they had almonds drying all over the streets. But to start off, you get some water boiling, and into the water you put 100 grams of pistachio. Then you drain them and put them on a clean dish towel. This is a clean dish towel. It may not look it, but sometimes there are stains on it which don't come out, but it is clean. So you have to do this when it's hot, and then you just rub them. You rub the pistachios, and this is supposed to take all the skins off. And the reason you want the skins off is the pistachio cream will come out brown if you leave the skins on. Last time I did this, I took all the skins off painstakingly, every single one, and it still came out brown. So part of me is like, well, maybe next time I'll just try it without being so diligent and see how it comes out. But you see, I never knew pistachios are truly green. Once you take the skins off, it's like, yeah, look at that, they're green. And it has to be done when it's hot, because they're harder to take off once they cool down. So try to get this done while it's hot. Then you just put the peels in a food processor or a high-speed blender, like I guess a Ninja has one, and I have a Vitamix. So I'm still trying to get the peels off of them, even though I did this last time and it still did not come out green. I don't know if there's a difference between raw pistachio and the pistachios you just buy it in a package that have been roasted. While I'm doing this, I had some coconut milk being heated up on the stove, because you just want to heat it up, you don't want to boil it. That's step 3 or 4 of this, so I'll explain that, but that's why I had to go turn it off. I didn't want it to overcook. I have all the pistachios peeled. They're in here. As you can see, they're not really that green, so it may not come out as green as I like. These are all the peels. Now, when you do this, use a dish towel that you don't mind getting stained, because this will, the last time I made it and I washed the dish towel and the stains were still there. So, next step. This step, when I did it, I wasn't sure that it would work, and it's going to take some time, and it's tedious, and it takes longer than you think it will. Now I'm using coconut milk, so what I do with my coconut milk, I put it in my blender and blend up the can of coconut milk, because it's some liquid, some solids, and this gets it uniform. So you put in about 1/4 cup of, if you're using coconut milk or heavy cream milk, whatever you're using if you're not dairy free. That was probably a little more than 1/4 cup. And then you just process this till it comes to a ball. You're going to have to scrape down the sides several times. As I said, I didn't think it was going to work the first time I did it, so here we go. This is actually working better than the first time, I think, because I have actually more liquid in it, so it might not come to the ball point that it did with less milk, but so you just want it all processed so it's smooth. It's getting really smooth. This may not form a ball. When I did it last time and I had 1/4 cup of milk, it did, it took a long time, and I had to keep scraping it. With more liquid, it's doing a better job, but I'm not sure it's going to form the ball. So you want it to form a paste, and if you have less liquid, it just will form a ball and a paste. But I'm going to call this good because we really just want it smooth. I'm going to now put this into my Vitamix. Since I used more liquid, I could have used my Vitamix from the beginning, because my Vitamix, if there's not enough liquid, it doesn't work that well. Okay, so I have everything in my Vitamix now. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 4 egg yolks and sweetener. And I'm using stevia. I prefer liquid stevia. I'm going to be using English toffee. But if you want a granular, use about, well, the original recipe called for 80 grams or 2/3 of a cup of sugar. So you'd translate that to granular sweetener, but that's going to be a little sweet. You might want to back off and do maybe 50 or 60 grams of granulated sugar, or even just a couple of tablespoons, because it's going to be sweet otherwise. So I'm going to use a squirt of that. If you're using granular, add about a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So you're going to process this. So that's nice and smooth. And to that you add, I warmed up some coconut milk. So you'd warm up your milk, not boiling, just warm it up. This is a total of coconut milk or milk is 2 cups. So we used 1/4 cup initially to make the paste, and now this would be the rest of the 2 cups. You just add it in, it's warm. If you're worried about the raw egg yolks, the warm milk and the Vitamix on high will cook the yolks. I personally I'm not bothered by raw egg yolks. So again, process until smooth. Pour it into this bowl. See, it does not really come out green. It's a hint of green, but not true green. So again, I'm not sure why, or if I could ever find raw pistachios, and maybe that would be the difference. I'll have to look for some raw pistachios. Maybe nuts.com would have some raw pistachios. But it tastes amazing. So this is the pistachio cream. And well, first, I'm going to try it on, I have a focaccia. I'm just going to try it on my focaccia. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and it will thicken up like custard. That is good. Again, you can use it for fillings for in pastries, for pavlova filling, on focaccia, on sweetbread, or just eat it like pudding.